Good morning, Wilds. It is Thursday, September 10th, and we are dropping into the Mystic Musings Extended. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking out. I am doing a freebie today. So essentially, in the next 2 weeks, by the Virgo new moon, the majority of my astrology insights and most of my rituals and moon circles and things like that are already privatized, but most of my work is going to start getting moved to my Patreon, and I'm going to start talking more about the deconstruction aspect as more of like my free service to the collective. And so you'll get basic insights about astrology and stuff, but essentially what I'm trying to do is show you what you get when you join either my $11 tiered Wild Beloved Patreon or my $33 tier Wild Hearts Coven. Okay, so at the $11 tier, you get about 3 or 4 Mystic Musings readings a month, and they are these extended readings, and sometimes they're divination, and sometimes they're just advice. It just depends on what my channel is telling me that week. Sometimes they come in on Mondays, sometimes they come in on Thursdays like today. But hold on 1 second, sorry. I lit a smoke offering and now the smoke is going everywhere. I don't want my alarm to go off. But essentially, so it just depends on, like, as a channel, I'm so reliant upon what my guides and what my channel is telling me. And sometimes it comes in on a Monday and sometimes it comes in on a Thursday. It just depends on what's going on. And essentially me privatizing my work allows me to slow down and not burn my channel out so bad. I feel like I have almost burnt it out, and I need to be mindful of that. So I'm just heeding their advice, and let's go ahead and drop in. So hopefully you guys saw this week's, information yesterday. Mars stationed retrograde at 6:22 p.m. It has definitely had a lot of noticeable effects for me. And then the other major piece is understanding that as of last night until Saturday, there are 6 planets that are stationed retrograde right now. And it feels like a little bit of a halt, like a what's going on. All right. Tonight is the 3rd quarter moon at 18 degrees of Gemini. And it's going to square the sun in Virgo. And so it can create that icky feeling, and we've got an aspect to Neptune today, which can just make everything feel confusing. Okay. So, it doesn't feel good out there right now. There's fires, there's snow. This is what happens with a major aspect to both Pluto and Saturn in the South Node. It's going to get better. It's like basically a purge. And I know for me, I'm going through this major soul purge right now through my divorce. And it's awful. As above, so below. It's awful. But essentially, you're just trying to vomit up, the ugliness to make space for something new. And that's a lot of what we're doing as a collective and then also as individuals. So you want to look to where Aries is in your natal chart, 28 degrees. It will transit back to 15 until November 13th. If you're interested in more on that, go watch my forecast that I posted yesterday. You can go back on my YouTube channel and watch it there as well. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So what we're going to do is you're going to pick. All right. So is your card for the week is your highest message of support, wisdom, knowledge? Is it the left, the center, or the right for the week of the 7th through the 14th? Okay. Pick the one that you want. Right. So the left is eagle. See from a higher perspective. The center is great teacher. Learn from spiritual experience. Jesus. And the right is protection, guardian. Drop your shields. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to move the eagle into the center, and we're going to discuss eagle. Now, this deck is by Kyle Gray. Where did I just put that here? And typically with Oracle, I will read you a little bit of what it's about so that you know, because I haven't memorized this deck, but then we'll get to the tarot in just a second. Okay. Look at things from a different angle. Fly high and see new possibilities. In animal medicine, both Native American and Celtic, the eagle draws his power and strength from the sun. He is a powerful, strong, and courageous guide who's able to see for miles. He approaches all things with intelligence, grace, and poise, and has the capacity to make a plan from a higher space before putting it into action. When the eagle card appears in a reading, it's to show you have a real ability to take things higher and move beyond the limitations of your ego and your own selfish desires. Eagle medicine swirls around you, encouraging you to realize that your views or vision may be limited at this time. Is there a chance that your own desperation, needs, or ego could be blocking you from seeing the potential in your current situation? If there are other people involved, you're being guided to see things from everyone's perspective. If you feel the need for something to change, how can you take the higher road? Know that if you have intentions that aren't for the highest good, it will only hold you back. Eagle medicine can help you change this. The eagle brings energy of healing and love directly from the heart of Father Sky and invites you to do all things from a place of love. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Black Moon astrology cards. I use these every week. Switch this back a little bit. All right. Okay, Spirit, can we please get some astrological insight for those that chose Eagle the week of September the 7th through the 14th, please? One more. Two more. Last shuffle. All right. So we've got Pisces, I believe, involved in here. So probably still dealing with effects from the Pisces full moon last week. Oh, it was so big. Uranus. Yep. We're going to have an aspect to Uranus this week as well. And then Neptune. Yeah. More Neptune involved. So the thing about these energies is that they both inspire change one way or another. Pisces has more of a dissolving quality, whereas Uranus has more of a tower effect. Underneath Pisces is the North Node, life's purpose. Underneath Uranus is the part of fortune and increase, and under Neptune is 10th house. So this tends to tell me this has something to do with your reputation, maybe a relationship with your father or your mother, and then also your career. Okay. So there is definitely some sense of needing to see something from a higher perspective in terms of what, where are you trying to really go here? How can you take some drastic changes? How can you look at new things to take a leap forward and increase your finances, increase your sense of material objects on this earth, money, car, house, physical things. And then over on the left, we've got Neptune of sacrifice. And so we'll see when we get to tarot here in a minute, but it could go one or two ways. And it could go one as in are you thinking too much about yourself in this situation, and how can you become more service oriented? Because, the sun is in Virgo, which does rule things like global health, organizational health, taking care of the collective, the community. It's service driven, right? And so because we've got the 10th house in here, which is career and reputation, this makes me wonder if there is some sense of either you have been giving too much and you need to reconsider and work towards your finances here and go a different path, or are you being a little self-centered here and egoic, and need to think about things in more of a how is this serving the community type thing? Now, that is asking a lot for the viewer to be able to, get distinctive on that. But Pisces is involved in here, which says, I believe, and typically this has to do with some sense of spirituality and healing, right? So there's definitely this drive to see something from a perspective that isn't just about you, that there is an aspect, because of Eagle, there is an aspect of needing to get above it, right? Meditate on it, detach from it long enough to be able to see if it's valuable to you or not. Okay. So let's get some tarot moving here. All right, Spirit. What's going on here with the eagle? What's this situation about? Can I get some more clarity, please? 2 more shuffles. 3 cards. 1 in front of 2 surrounding. What is this situation about? Last shuffle, please. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so somebody wanting to be victorious here and also wanting to be seen as victorious and be in the spotlight. Okay, somebody wanting to make long-term financial choices and needing to really access a deep sense of balanced judgment here. Could be a Libra involved in this. Trying to weigh the scales, right? Trying to make the right choice, but no matter what, a judgment call will be made. Underneath the 6 of Wands is the Death card, the rebirth. Underneath the Ace of Pentacles is the Ace of Swords reversed. So this tells me that there is a lack of clarity in this choice moving forward. Again, which is like over here and with the eagle, this tells me you need to let some time pass before you really make this choice. And you need to get clear-minded, okay? And then under Judgment is the King of Swords, all right? Again, clarity. Clarity is involved here. There's 2 different paths, 2 of Swords, and then the Emperor, right? And so what this tells me, we got both Libra and Aries, is that there is this balance between, doing me, and then doing collective, doing service projects. There's definitely some past hurt here. There's definitely some sense of like a lack of trust. There's definitely this need for clarity of the mind. Like that is definitely what I see. So let's see. Spirit, how does those that chose eagle, how do they get that clarity of mind that they're looking for, please? How are they going to get that? Okay, the Star, you need to come back to your wish, right? What is your desire? What is your big wish? The one that's right next to it is the 7 of Cups, means that there's too many things you're trying to focus on at once. Something's stealing your attention, and you need to really, and Mars retrograde will really help you with that. You really need to get clear and distinct on what it is that you want. Okay, can I get some action steps, please? Okay, the 9 of Swords. Yeah, things are mounting. A lot of past fears coming up, kind of like past hauntings, one way or another, to like make you question whether or not like you're worthy of this, or if you've made the right choices, looking back to the past and maybe feeling some sense of regret. What's the advice here? What's the advice here? What's the advice for those that chose eagle for the week? And dealing with this situation, please. What's the advice? Okay. We got the Knight of Wands. So needing to take bold action forward. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You know, the Knight of Wands doesn't really think like really, really hard about things. Doesn't get caught in the emotions of it. Doesn't get caught in like the bullshit of the past. It just burns it up and just charges ahead after its desires, you know. And then we've also got the Knight of Swords. So needing to have a lot of clarity. You can see this guy even chasing that eagle up there. That's funny. Or a hawk or something like that. But, you know, these are both knights bring messages, you know. The Knight of Swords says that there could be some sort of communication coming through that's going to help you get clear on these choices you need to make. But you're kind of at a crossroad. The 2 of Swords is very much a decision, you know, trying to weigh and balance things. So let me put some of these up so that I've got more cards to work with. Okay. 3 next steps for those that chose eagle. How do they find the clarity they're looking for? How do those that have eagle find the clarity that they are looking for, please? I need 3 next steps. Practical, please. Don't get all wishy-washy on me here, Spirit. I need 3 practical pieces of advice. They're already trying to make a hard decision. 1 more shuffle, please. Okay, 2. All right. There we got the wheel involved in there and the Fool. Something's going on you got to pay attention to that's out of your control. You know, part of it is just letting the chips fall where they will. Last shuffle, please, Spirit. 3 next steps for clarity. Yes? Okay. All right, the Hangman. Okay. So just a piece of it is hanging around, letting time pass. Pisces again, all right? The Pisces full moon definitely reveals something to you. You need to pay attention. You might need to let a whole lunar cycle pass until the next full moon. We'll get clarity on that in a second. Temperance, there's definitely a sense of balance. And then there's also like a karmic balancing taking place that is beyond your control. Like the angels are involved, you know, like spirits involved in this. And then the 4 of Wands is family, you know, get around people that feel really safe and comfortable to you and try to find the middle road here, you know, and ask your family, the people that you trust for their wisdom. Oh, and then we got the Hermit. I don't know why I picked up a 4th card, but I did, which means that you need to do some introversion. You need to process alone and soul seek here. Under the Hangman, we've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, which tells me that you need to find ground here. You know, you need to find some sense of like a reliable, practical person, not like a super mystical person. There's some sense of like going to a person that you know is like pretty professional or like family oriented and like getting a pretty, not conservative, but just like a balanced opinion on this. There's definitely a sense of family involved in here, like needing to get wisdom from family. So over the Temperance is the Fool. So we've got, you know, needing to take some new journeys here one way or another. You're taking a new journey here one way or another. The Sun is reversed underneath the 4 of Wands, which says that, you know, you've definitely been dealing with conflict, and this has definitely been stealing your sense of joy and your sense of peace. Leo could be involved in here, but, you know, there's definitely some sense of like what, you know, you're looking for clarity, but what are you getting? You're getting the Moon, Pisces again. There is definitely some sense of mystery involved here. There's like, you know, Pisces just says flow with it. And I know that's not what you want, especially during Virgo season, which is like, you know, planning and clarity, but there's some sense of needing to let time pass and let spirit reveal it in time. Let's get some advice. Can I get some advice, please? For those that chose Eagle. Advice, please, for those that chose Eagle. Last one. Yeah. Sing your own song reversed. There, yeah. Like there's just such a piece of needing to work together that is involved here. And almost like there's this sense of like a lot of solo quality to this that has been happening. There is some sense of needing to get other people's opinion. We got Peacock spirit and we got Dolphin spirit. Yeah, of course, Dolphin, like play with it. You're in the middle of things right now. And then Peacock, let it shine. There is a waiting period going on here. So you're going to have to stay tuned if you chose this one on your answer. You're not going to get the answer you're seeking in just a week. I'm really getting the sense that you need a whole lunar cycle. You know, the whole Virgo new moon might reveal some things to you, but it's probably going to be about 3 or 4 weeks before you get the clarity that you are fully seeking here. Okay. And what are you going to do in the middle of that? You're going to meditate. You're going to get a higher perspective. You're going to try to relieve your ego from the situation and try to look at it from a personal perspective as well as a collective perspective. And time is going to be part of the big thing here. That is what we just saw over and over and over, is that there is some sense of the universe working things out. And it's just not time yet to get the answer. Okay. All right. So if you chose the center, this is your reading. The great teacher. This is Jesus. Okay. All right. Learn from spiritual experience. Know that what is happening around you is divinely inspired. Learn from your current experiences and then share them with others. This card was inspired by Jesus, who is one of the most widely acknowledged and loved spiritual teachers of all time. But there is a great teacher in every tradition, and this card represents the one to whom you feel closest, as well as the great teacher within. The teacher wears simple clothes here to demonstrate that even if you live a simple life, it can be an incredibly spiritual one. He is surrounded by a sense of serenity and harmony because he has absolute trust in the higher power that moves through him. And the dove on the card represents receiving answers to prayers through signs and experiencing peace through joy. This card can represent a teacher in your life or the great teacher within. Either way, it shows you that you have dedicated a lot of time and effort to understanding yourself and the world. You're having spiritual experiences at this time and gaining a greater awareness of what you need to do in order to grow. There's a chance that if you've been having any challenges recently, you've surmounted them and allowed them to be vehicles of lessons that are helping your spiritual connection. If you feel like that you've received messages from heaven or the universe recently, this card is a confirmation that these have indeed been holy experiences. Wow, that just actually made me tear up. I needed that message. Yeah, that was beautiful. I don't know why it just really hit me really hard. So I feel like that card in itself could be even just where it is. I feel as I was reading it that if this card is for you this week, there is a part of just trust. And I know that's going to be a large part of all of these readings because we're just coming off of a full moon in Pisces, which Pisces, its mantra is, I believe. And it's understanding that everything that's been going on is happening for you, not to you. And we always get choice as to what we're going to do, if we're going to turn them into life-giving lessons and beauty, ashes to beauty, or if we're going to let them take us. And I know me, for one, I have been letting a lot of the chaos take me for the last few months. And that's part of what it means to be human, and be in our bodies. So it's part of the whole thing. So let's get some clarity here. But I feel like this reading might be a little different than the previous one in the sense that this might just be how do we trust? How do we trust and lean into our lessons? All right, Spirit, what are the astrological influences for those that chose great teacher this week? What are the astrological influences that brought about great teacher for those that picked the center this week, September the 7th through the 14th? Okay, we got Venus, we've got love. Oh yeah, Leo is in Venus now. We've got void, of course. Of course, there's some sense of trust in timing. And then we've got Jupiter of abundance. Oh man, yeah. So it's just really understanding that, Jupiter is spirit and luck, and depth of truth and knowledge. And then Venus is all about money and love and self-worth and self-esteem. And then the void, of course, is about trusting the void space here. Yeah, I got that. Okay. Underneath Venus, what did I just say? Leo just moved into Venus. So wherever Leo is for you is going to have a lesson of self-worth, self-esteem, and loving yourself and directing your focus to that area of your life. Okay. There's a lesson there. And Leo says, I will. It's about leadership and strength and enduring hardship, and letting the heart space grow from it. Oh man, this one is just I am feeling this one. Okay. What's underneath the void, of course, is the earth element stability. This means that, it feels like it's nebulous. It feels auspicious and like it's dissolving, but really it's just stabilizing. You just have to trust the process. And then what do we have under Jupiter? We have Sagittarius, which is the ruler of Jupiter. Okay. This is all about balance. It's about trusting spirit, trusting and turning to whatever your great expensive teacher or guidance is, and allowing that to become love and truth. Jesus was an amazing teacher. And I always say that if there was one person I could look like, it would look like Jesus and his counterpart, Mary Magdalene. They were fierce lovers, of the underdog, and radical, The This is really beautiful. Yes. Okay. All right. So what are the lessons here that we can learn? What are the lessons here that we can learn? It looks like a 2-month period of learning time because Leo just moved into Venus this past weekend. So we're looking at about a 2-month period of time. Okay. What are the lessons? 3, please, that those that chose the center card can learn. 1 more. Do you guys feel that transmission? I feel it. Like, I feel the tangibility of it. Is this right? All right, so the 7 of Swords, the Tower, wow, and the Empress, wow. Okay, so the 7 of Swords here, some sense of deception and betrayal. Could be involved with somebody else, you know, like somebody else hurting you or betraying you. I don't want to leave that there. That doesn't feel right, but it is out there for somebody. But it usually looks like sabotage, self-sabotage, sneaking around, not being honest, you know. And then we've got the Tower card, and under that we've got the Knight of Pentacles. And as you can see, it looks like somebody's walking away, you know. And then we've got the Empress over here, which is like, you know, the creative goddess, the creatrix, really, you know, wanting to build a family or stability or financial abundance or a successful business plan. And then the Hangman, Pisces. So it's like there's a waiting period here. And I mean, it's going to look like a 2-month period of time, I sense. The Tower here is interesting. There's definitely some shift, some sense of clearing out. I'm going to read the Page of Pentacles from here. I feel like I'm supposed to. Let's see. So it says, manifesting new opportunities, beginnings, good news, ambition, skills, training, financial opportunities, new career paths, new connections, earth magic, making plans. Okay. There's definitely some sense of like planning here. I'm going to have to get more clear on the 7 of Swords and the Tower, which I will here in just a second. I'm going to start dropping cards here in a minute. The Tower and the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is diligence and hard work, determination, steadfastness, building material security, safety, being pragmatic, and expansion. So this is about being consistent, even as things fall all around you, which, oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah. So I'm going to get clear on these 2 here in just a second, but the Leo card stands out so much here in terms of the Venus card, which is like, you know, you might be going through challenges in relationships. And the thing that, you know, I'm going to talk about a lot in the Coven is that, you know, as Mars has been trekking through Aries, it has been creating all these oppositions to its counterpart on the axis, which is Libra. And Libra is ruled by Venus, and it's all about relationships. And so it's really brought a lot of argumentativeness to relationship. It's brought this challenge between what it means to go solo and be independent, which is Aries, and say I am and just be solo. And then that sense of Libra, the connection. And I feel that so much. Those are my sun and my moon. And there's just this struggle, you know, there's this conflict. There's this like sense of rubbing between. And what this is saying is that even as challenges and unexpected changes come up, you need to allow the lessons to teach you how to stay diligent, right? Stay committed to what it is that you love. And that is what Mars retrograde is all about. In especially as Venus is moving through Leo, is like willpower. It's like, can you be strong enough to stay committed to the things that you love? Even when it feels like things might be off, even when it feels like things might be like, you know, there's no sense of clarity. It's like, can you be devoted? Can you trust, right? Like seeking that truth. Can you allow the abundance to come from this deeper sense of you, right? And bringing it all back to the teacher. It's like, how can we let the next 2 months teach us, right? How can we reach out to our spiritual teachers, or the teacher within, and really grow from these challenges and learn how to ground down and not just burn down everything just because a tower hits us. That is what I feel, this self-sabotage right here. We're not self-sabotaging, guys. We are focusing on our dreams, and we are working through the challenges. Man, that is, yes, I needed that message. Wow. This is my reading, y'all. Thank you, Spirit. And the thing is like the outcome is the Empress here, which is like building the thing that you want, right? Building the business, building the family, building the life, maybe even a child for somebody here, pregnancy, but it's birth no matter what. Yes. How can you stay diligent and committed to the things that you love, regardless of all the fucking shit going on, fires, snowstorms in the summer, pandemic, all of it. Like, can you stay grounded and diligent and move one step at a time and not, just completely override it all with your fear? Wow. Really good message. Really good message. I don't feel like we need that much more there. I feel like my guides are like, you got it. All right. Let's get some advice here, please. Advice, please. Advice, please. Those that chose teacher. One more shuffle. Advice. Yes. Okay, Flamingo Spirit. Embrace the in-between. Look, just like dolphin. The in-between. We're in the bardo, the liminal space. Embrace it. Have faith. Take the lead. And koi fish. There's always enough. Oh, it's about faith, y'all. This one's about faith. Love it. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Love it. Okay. I feel like we need one more thing, and that is some spiritual guidance. Hold on. One second. Okay. Keepers of Light Oracle by Kyle Gray again. Love him. Let's see who wants to show up for you, deity-wise. Who can we connect to in this time besides just Jesus and our own teacher within? Who has wisdom for us? Which deity wants to connect to those that chose the center card this week? One more. Yeah. Okay. Kuthumi, the cloak of wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. It's just time to trust that you know it. Love it. Yeah, I feel like my guides are like, hey, don't push this reading. It's magical. You got your answers. It's meant to trust. Don't flinch every time something changes. Stay grounded. Stay present. Push through. Know what you're committed to is what I feel. Don't self-sabotage. You can do this. You don't have to burn your life down just because the world is suffering. Oh, man. I'm going to have to go back and watch that message because that was for me too. I love when I get those. Sometimes I don't feel like they're my messages, but that one I did. All right. If you got the Center Protection Guardian, drop your shields. Okay. Okay. Drop any shields of shame, resistance, and fear that are standing between you and your chances of enjoyment and fun. Know that you don't need to hide who you are or the gifts that you have. You were born to shine. The Protection Guardian is a feminine version of Archangel Michael. She is a fierce, protective, yet loving warrior angel who carries around an indestructible shield of power and protection and will come to all who call on her. She will help you drop your fear-based shields and move into a loving, protective force field that will help keep you safe, but will allow your gifts to shine out. Although she is here to guard you from lower energy, she is completely relaxed, serene, and confident because she trusts that love will always prevail. You may have encountered shame or embarrassment in your past, but that is not your present moment. Angels are drawing close to you to help you move beyond any limiting thoughts, emotions, and patterns that may be making you feel unsafe. Know that angelic protection is swirling around you at this moment and will help you move forward in a more fearless way. Call on your guides for help in changing your frequency so that you can feel safe and protected at this time. You are stronger than you think, and your angels and ancestor guides are here to help you realize this now. All of them, man, are about protection and trust. It is that Pisces full moon. And it's so hard when the sun is in Virgo because Virgo has such a hard time trusting. it's the analyst, it's the scientist, it's the engineer. It needs clear proof and conclusive evidence, like it's the fact finder. It just has such a hard time with Pisces energy, which is its, opposite axis energy. I mean, they're both about healing, but this is about trust and letting things that fall away, and trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Oof, I feel that. I feel it. It's good. All right. Astrological influences for those that chose the Protection Guardian for the week of September 7th through the 14th. Please, 3 cards, 1 on the center, 2 surrounding. You know the drill, Spirit. Thank you for your messages and your guidance. We need you these times. 1 more, please. 2. All right, Jupiter return, benefits. Pisces, man, I told you, Pisces is it's that moon, I'm telling you. And then the sun in Virgo. What did I literally just say? I know that's what I just, transcribed, which was them talking about the Pisces and Virgo, which is all of that energy that wants to make us like have all the conclusive evidence and need to prove it, and Pisces just flow with it, just trust, just believe. Jupiter return, underneath that is a yod. Oh my gosh, of course it is, which is very strong spiritual purpose, but not easy, right? Grand Cross provoker under Pisces, and then under Sun Spirit is Moon Soul. Oh man, you are going through some sort of purge from your emotional health. Maybe you've got somatic stuff coming up that's making you feel irritable, making you question your own emotions. Maybe you're flitting back and forth between, anxious energy, nervous tension, which is very Virgo, and trying to hyperanalyze everything, and then, switching over to like, I'm just going to let it flow, and then back over to the anxiety, and then to the flow. Oh, that's such a Virgo Pisces challenge. And what the message here is like, you can just trust. You don't have to like have up your sense of defensiveness. It's just trust that love will prevail. Oh, that's also a good message, man. I feel all of those. Oh, they all just make me want to cry for some reason. Yeah, Saturn is involved in here too. Truth. Whatever's breaking down, whatever you're feeling that sense of constriction and restriction around, actually is really here for benefit. Like, look, Jupiter return, that's like one of the most positive things. And the yod down here is hard as hell, like I know so many people, even my partner has a yod, and it's like, there's just so much challenge, but such great spiritual purpose in this lifetime. So whatever the situation is about, understand that the situation is going to happen until the sun moves into Pisces, or sun moves into Libra, and the moon is in Aries, because this sun and Pisces, this sun and moon, this tells me this is about the Pisces new moon portal. All right. So you've got about 2 or 3 more weeks here. All right. And you're really trying to figure this whole thing out. And you've got, look, sun and moon. So there's the difference between your sense of your vitality, who you are, your personality, your ego, who you are, and then your soul. Your moon is who you really are. Just fun fact about astrology is that your moon is who you've been in almost all of your lifetimes. Okay. It is the truest, most authentic version of you, because the moon represents your soul. Okay. Your sun is your spirit. It's the sense of why you incarnated. What's your dharmic purpose in this lifetime? And then just fun fact, since we're already on that, is that your rising sign is kind of like the shell. It's like an M&M, the shell around your sun, that kind of protects all of it, right? So there's definitely a sense of, this sense of purpose and longing. And then there's also this sense of your emotional health, your emotional filter, how you feel about things right now that are probably bringing up some stuff. And I feel like it's important to remind you, as I've been reminding myself a lot lately, emotions are not the truth. Right? Emotions are messengers that lead you to the truth. As I've gotten more into Taoism and these Taoist practices and how they view trauma in the body, it's been so interesting to understand that it's just the energy coming up to be healed. And when we get stuck and when we get paralyzed and triggered is like, we're in that period of time of either letting it pass or we need to develop the skills and the ground to move it out. And this, taking us back is understanding this whole thing that's happening right now is for you. And you are safe and you're protected. They said that she is the female version of Archangel Michael, and call on Archangel Michael, call on Protection Guardian, and trust that this is a spiritual process that your soul decided before we even got here. The Grand Cross tells me, though, that, you are definitely feeling a lot of challenges on all corners, right? So like a Grand Cross means that there's 90-degree angles and 2 oppositions, which is just all the challenge and all the opposition. But there are great lessons to be learned here. So let's get some tarot moving. Get some tarot moving. All right. What is this about? I feel like I need to get a little bit more clarity. Can I get 3 cards, please, about what this is about? 1 in the center, 2 surrounding, please. 2 more shuffles. 1 more. See the 3 of Wands. Okay, we got the 7 of Pentacles here. So we are looking at Sun, Earth sign, Pentacle, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, trying to be diligent, trying to really put focused efforts towards whatever it is you're trying to grow and build, putting a seed into the soil, really trying to be diligent about this aspect. A lot of earth energy here that I'm sensing. 8 of Swords is surrounding it. So just anxiety, feeling like you're trapped in your head, trapped in your mind, trapped in your emotions. The Knight of Swords, maybe some message coming through. But basically what we're trying to do is stay focused on the thing ahead of us, but the mind is taking control, right? So this looks like anxiety to me, which Virgo season is when I'm always the most anxious. I love Virgo. I love getting shit done, but it is just so fixated on perfection, and it's so neurotic sometimes. I love you, Virgos. I have 2 planets in Virgo in the 10th house, so I get it. It just makes you want to be perfect and OCD, and it brings up all the neurotic behaviors. Let's reverse now. So we've got the Fool. We've got the Fool over the 7 of Pentacles, or under it, sorry, which tells me that you're trying to be diligent about this path that you're on. Maybe you decided to answer the call and it's got some scary things it's bringing up for you. And you're trying to stay focused on growing this path, but it's definitely starting to wear on your mind. We got the Page of Wands underneath the 8 of Swords. Yeah, so trying to take some bold actions. And then over or under the Knight of Swords, we've got the King of Wands reversed. So, being impatient, definitely letting your aggressive nature show up in more irritable ways. Some messages, anytime I see the King of Wands reversed and the Knight of Swords, this tells me you might be a little grumpy, a little bitchy, irritable, frustrated. You might be taking it out on other people, projecting it on other people. And it's just time to be mindful of that. We're going to get some clarity on these here in a second. But essentially what I see here is that you're trying to stay focused on this thing that you decided to take a leap on. And it's really, you've gotten to probably, where in the hero's journey where you've gotten to trials and tribulations and you're being tested. And you're being tested as to how bad you really want this. And you need to look to the step before that in the hero's journey, which is the teacher, right? Which is the previous reading we just did. And it's understanding you need to reach out to your teacher. You need to trust the timing. You need to trust the process here. The more that you get into this soul work, I was actually talking to a client about this morning. The more you get into this soul work and you bring in ancestors and spirit guides, it's like you're working on their timetable a lot of times. Sometimes things don't go the way you want them to, in the timing and the earth-bound time ways that we want them to, because we've allowed spirit to step in, and it just doesn't make sense as much, And I get that sense with that Pisces and the Grand Cross. It's like, well, what do you really want? All right. Do you want to stop? Do you want to take a break? You can do that. But whatever's going on, your mind has taken control here. And, you just need to get clear on what you want. So let's get some advice. All right. Spirit, what is advice for those that chose the Earth Guardian this week? Okay. Oh, whoopsie. We got the 8 of Pentacles. So on top of that, 7 of Pentacles, we got the teacher. We got the sense of you need to reach out again, like to the Hierophant, the sense of like, your mentor or your own guide within. Stay diligent, stay focused. But the 8 is the apprentice, right? It's like reaching out. And then we had the 7 of Cups reverse is like, there's a lot of shit going on, right? And Virgo season is a wonderful time to decide what you really want to focus on. Get clear, get focused. The Queen of Pentacles reverse tells me that you're working to gain stability again. You're working to gain practicality and clear focus. But it's pause, you're trying to get clear. And then we got the 6 of Cups reverse tells me, yeah, you're feeling nostalgic. You're feeling like this sense of like, did I make the wrong choice? Did I make the wrong choice? Should I have not left my marriage? Should I have not left my religion? Did I fuck up my life? That is someone very specific. No, the soul card is involved in here. The moon is involved in here, which means like you're on your path. It just, the trials and tribulations part is awful. It's the initiation. And it's really and truly your own soul challenging you as to, are you going to pursue the things you really came here to do? Or are you just, going to let it go? And only you can decide that. There's really no advice beyond like, do you want to take a pause? Do you want to stop? Do you want to go back? It's all your own lesson. It's all your own thing. It's what do you want out of it? But there is a yod involved in here. So if you have a yod in your chart, this is definitely for you. Understanding you're probably like pushed up against the thing that that you came here to do. You're probably taking big steps because we've got soul and yod and sun. That there's a sense of belief, trust that's necessary, and understanding that the challenges are part of your journey here. Okay. It's part of your initiation. So let's get some advice. Advice for those that chose Earth Guardian, please. Your cards. Okay. Dragonfly spirit. Truth transcends illusion. Yeah. So we got a lot of Pisces in here, which is an illusion, right? So it's cutting through it with the truth and it's deciding. I'm going to ask how we do that here in a second. But what's underneath that is brown bear. Time out. Slow down. Rest on it. Use the week to get clear. We're working within a week here. So this is about taking a time out to get clear on what you want. We've also got deer spirit. Bring a gentle touch. Yes, I sense that down here with the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands. I know it makes sense to be angry. You got a lot of frustrating energy that's, moving through you with the yod and the provoker, but it's time to not blame other people and just recognize you might be projecting a little bit because you're irritated. Totally makes sense, but just try to be mindful with that. Everybody's going through a hard time right now. What's under that is turtle spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, slow down. Yep. And then last one is chameleon spirit. Act as if. So how do you want it to feel? Take steps towards that feeling. I've always heard, the greatest way to predict the future is to create it. So do that. And then what's under that is the rhino spirit. Overcome obstacles. So it's reverse though. So it's like you need to slow down. See obstacles as an opportunity here. All right. There's definitely that sense of obstacles as opportunity. Let's get clear on who wants to work with you this week spiritually. Spirit, who could show up to help those that chose the earth protection or protection? What is her name again? Protection guardian. September 7th through 14th. Dasha. Lady Nada, a heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. Yes, that Venus energy. I get that. It's also, it's like soften into it. Yeah, I sense that so much over here. Somebody's angry, right? Somebody's irritable. Totally makes sense. Mars just stationed retrograde. It feels awful. But let's try not to project all over everybody we love. It's not fair. It never feels good when it happens to us. You know, when we do it to other people, we'll just end up apologizing one day. So see what kind of responsibility you can take and just understand everybody is going through a hard time. That Pisces full moon opposite the sun in Virgo was just, it was brutal, y'all. It was brutal, right? But if we can just soften into it, I always say, you know, Neptune energy has such a hard time in our 3D Earth world because, you know, the 3D Earth world is Saturn and it just wants hard productivity all the time. And Pisces is like, bro, you're going to have to slow down and just trust. And we can all learn something from that. All right, guys. I hope that this was helpful to you. Oh, my guides are reminding me we never pulled. For the first person that had the eagle, here is your spiritual guidance for the week. Who wants to show up for you? For the eagle. My guides are reminding me you didn't get that. You probably want it. 2 more shuffles. Last one. Who wants to show up for those that chose eagle this week? The divine director, intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you're being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Yeah, it's happening for you, not to you. And I feel that for all of the readings. I really do. That's ascension theory, by the way. All right, guys, have a great week. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I love you. If you're interested in getting these weekly, go to my Patreon and check out either the Wild Beloved or the Coven. In the Coven, we also get a live full moon gathering that we do once a month at the full moon. And it's really amazing. It's really great to connect that way. I hope you guys have a great day.